Alright, shout out Minato's Flash, obviously on YouTube, Twitter, socials, etc., for the translations because Dokkan Battle Global is sleeping, I guess. But we have the Easy A Int Super Saiyan Goku that is the Strike Full of Anger Goku, and we're going to be checking out his details here. So, Super Attack greatly raises defense, raises attack for 1 turn, causes mega colossal damage, which is up from a raise, and I assume the greatly raise will come for the Ultra. Attack and defense, okay. So they said, fuck it, we're gonna let him ball. We're gonna give him the ball, we're gonna let him do what he wants with it. Okay, I see you. So, wow. Attacking characters, but good, huh? Basic effects, key 3, attack and defense 200%, reduce damage by 20%. Should be here. So what did he gain? He gained 50%, or I guess 41%, and some damage reduction. Okay. Key 1 up to 3 is fine. He didn't have that at all before. When attack launches an additional super attack for 4 turns. And attacked. I assume, yep, launches super attack. After receiving an attack, launches attack. For 4 turns, though. I guess it's a buff. I don't know if the wording means anything there. I don't know if it's like multiple, but it's pretty cool. With each attack received, key up and up to 59%. As a second or third attacker in a turn, 59%, medium chance of launching an additional super attack. So did he just not have this? They just added this completely? It looks like they just added it completely because that is this here that we're seeing, first and second. As the first attacker, so he goes up to 50% damage reduction, 59% more attack. As the second or third, he gets 100% and launches an additional super attack. So he can go up to potentially 3 for free if he gets AoE'd, which he might. For 6 turns for first appearance, guards all attack. I believe he just doesn't have guard at all. Yep. And when there are extreme class enemies, attack 59%, high chance to perform a critical hit. When there is an enemy whose name includes Frieza, performs a critical hit. So a 20% guarding slot 2 unit essentially, but he is stacking. And where do you... Okay. Pretty quick stacks, right? Like, greatly raised defense? At minimum 2 greatly raised defense a turn, not counting hidden potential system. This character's gonna get pretty fucking tanky, isn't he? Like, I don't know. It's gonna be obviously one of those situations where it's kind of hard to find like where he'll land immediately, like just like boom, what is he gonna look like? But I'm pretty sure he's gonna be pretty good if you get him at past turn 1. Like, he can't go in slot 1 at the beginning of a fight, obviously. He's just not strong enough. But they haven't really shown us that they're going to be putting out like a merge Zamasu fight, okay? So if you're like really waiting for this character and you're like, oh no, what's gonna happen to my goat? They haven't really shown us that like a merge Zamasu just turn 1, bang, kills your entire rotation is coming. And because of that, I would like to believe that he's gonna get the time needed to stack up this. Cause let me compare him maybe. I can go to Kamehameha. And I am looking for the boys who got easy aid. What is their stack like? Because theirs is just a raise, right? And at the time, it felt fine. 30%. The issue is that they sort of had this transformation they were working around, whereas this Goku that we're looking at is just going to be like mega stacking. I guess the other thing I would want to look at instead of that even is Saviors, probably. Yeah, this Gohan. What was he stacking? He was also greatly attack and defense raising. And if you remember, this character got up there, like guarding. His issue is that he sort of filtered out relatively quickly because of the easy A, just the time. But like, he was fine too. And this Goku's getting guaranteed supers regularly. So do I think that like it'll be that much worse than this? Wait, 50%? And this was a 30%. Okay, so this is a 50% as well. It is greatly. All right. And he's stacking attack. And he's getting defense when receiving an attack. Guarding for 6 turns. And by that time, you're going to have a big fucking number. Imagine you put this character in slot 1 and you've got like a 4 million defense stat at turn 6. So you're just like a 4 million defense stat with 50% damage reduction. That's fine, right? Like, maybe the math APT gamers or something can figure that one out for me, because I'm not much of a math bro, but yeah, I would say I'm not dooming on this. I feel like if you're a fan of this character, you're feeling pretty good, right? No? All right. I guess we'll stay tuned for the Frieza, who we're still waiting on here. Okay, so again, got Minato's for the, look up here. Easy A AGL full power Frieza is protecting with a greatly raise and a greatly attack and defense raise, which obviously mirrors the Goku gaining an attack rate. So he's gonna fucking hit like a truck, by the way. Oh my god. So if you're a fan of big numbers characters, you're probably gonna be a fan of this Frieza. I mean, no duh, right? E3 attack and defense 200%, 20% damage reduction. So he gained 100% in damage reduction. At the start of each turn, 3 or key up to 3, which is mirroring the Goku when attacked. 50% for 4 turns. Also an additional super attack for 4 turns. Is that just what he does? Launches an additional super. Is he just fucking crazy? What? Is this like every single time this procs he gets 50% for 4 turns? Isn't this just like a there are characters whose entire defense, like, I assume this isn't infinite. I assume it's just one time. That would be crazy. That would be fucking insane. But with each attack received, key 1 up to 3, reaches damage received by 7 up to 20%, so he goes up to 40%. As a first attacker, he gains 30, so he goes up to 70%. 70% is pretty good, especially because you're stacking defense here, but I mean, it's only greatly raised, greatly stacked. First turn, you're guarding all attacks. 6 turns from first appearance, 150%. So he doesn't have guard, but he does have a conditional 70%. After the 7th turn from first appearance, 100%. Okay. So that looks, pretty reasonable. When there are superclass enemies attack, that doesn't matter. Yeah, Goku perform critical. Okay, critical. This will matter because there are a lot of fights that are superclass. You could foresee a world where the hardest fight in the game is like a Vegito, right? So that can be pretty important. But overall, we're really just looking at this, and if we're looking at this, is this enough? I think so. After receiving an attack, launches a different super attack. Yeah, it should just be the one time. If this was like many times, it'd be crazy. But I guess it does stack with itself. Like, he gets it for 2 turns, essentially. When attacked. Okay, with each attack received, 70%. At best, he's starting with a 50% and a guard. You could just put him in slot 1 and go... So he needs to be attacked like 3 times, essentially. Yeah, so you get that in 1 turn. Oh, so they want you to put him in slot 1. You have 57% with guard. You get attacked. You start. Okay. Yeah. I see the vision. He looks good, but much like the Goku, I think it's going to be tough to rate him. I know that people tend to say that this character was better than the Goku on release, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe it'll switch this time, just because I feel like this character could be worse, but very cool character. If you haven't watched my other video talking about this, by the way, I said that it's not that I think this is 100% the case, but my pick, if you just put a gun to my head and said name the part 2 LR that will help teams the most, I said that a successor Frieza Carnival or something of the effect would be pretty good, because successors, there are a few examples of like good characters on it, but it's a lot of evil characters. I think a successor's Wicked Bloodline could look pretty good here, because if we're starting off essentially with a very high-powered AGL Frieza, we could easy A the LR Golden Frieza at some point, and then getting a Tournament of Power Golden Frieza for the Super Saga. That said, I will, you know, I have to just say that, you know, I saw Minato bring up the fact that if all is, you know, equal, if I'm on point, and if the box theory is right, that my prediction going into this anniversary could be true. Based on the box theory, the only logical conclusion is that we see an LR Vegito Blue tomorrow. So I'm just saying, some people owe me an apology, by the way, for when I made a video 2 months ago saying, hey, it's Vegito Blue. If it happens to be that, but, you know, it could be anything. But all that being said, both characters seem pretty good. I'm finding it hard to rate them because they are stacking characters, but I think they do ultimately have the tools. I think Wicked Bloodlines could look towards a really good year if they do pull the trigger on this. But obviously, Frieza is just a character with a bunch of easy A potential in the books. That's gonna do it for today. If you like the video, subscribe to join the club. We all gonna make it. Peace.